Tonight on the Evening Twist, Assistant Chief Mike Romas from the Milwaukee Fire Department will tell you all you need to know about campus fire safety.
Plus, find out more about a late-night accident on campus yesterday. And
MUTV President Erica von Boxtel joins us. That and more. The Evening Twist starts right now. So we want to start talking about some things that have been going on campus lately. One big thing that happened last night, especially for you, that live around Humphrey, the 17th Street area, there was an accident around 11:30.
Yep.
And we do have some cell phone video that one of our viewers sent us, Ryan Ellerbush. If you guys want to take a look at that, I know it's kind of poor quality, but he took that on his iPhone. So yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, and what's interesting is in November, that was the same exact intersection that two students got hit by a car at. So you have to wonder, is this a bad intersection? Should we be extra cautious here?
Maybe it's cursed.
It might be cursed. Yeah. I thought of that myself.
Now, the good news is we did some research on this accident. We did call the medical examiner's office as well, and they told us that they were not sent to the scene, meaning that nobody died, which is always a good thing. But given the presence of a lot of police squads and, there was an ambulance there, I'm pretty sure someone was hurt. So we do need to be careful on that intersection. There's a lot going on. And it is a dangerous intersection. If you think about it, there's a lot of people walking up and down that street all the time.
Lots of traffic.
Lots of traffic. So,
all the time.
But it was at 11:30 at night, so who knows what exactly was going on. We do have some pictures online. If you guys go to the MUTV News Facebook page, also our Twitter, there are pictures of the accident as well, so you guys can check that out. So be careful when you're crossing the street on 17th of Wisconsin.
Yeah. Also, U.S. Postal Service may end their service on Saturdays.
Yes, that is also something that you need to take into consideration, that you will no longer get mail on Saturdays if you are asking for mail to be there on Saturdays.
Yeah, this could happen as early as August. So people may get pretty irritated, though, because, around the holidays, people want to send stuff when they want. Students with internships, jobs, they want to send those, and it could be on Saturday.
And the thing is, a lot of people say, we don't send mail anymore. It's all email. But to be honest, I think it's a lot more original to send someone a handwritten
I still send mail.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who do you send mail to?
My family, especially around Christmas. Everyone gets one. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, when you're sending a quick business email or something, that's one thing. But I think, a handwritten letter is something that's a lot more personal and has a lot more.
Yeah, it has more meaning to it.
Because you can sign it. And people can.
That's all in the signature. Yeah, exactly.
Well, one more thing we do want to talk about is that the Boy Scouts have some big news tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they may put an end to gay scouts in May, which...
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't think that's very fair, personally, and when I think of Boy Scouts, I think very young, as old as maybe 8th grade, and they don't really know, that yet, so...
You can be a Boy Scout over 8th grade. It's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you can be. You never know.
Well, and my question with that is, I think it's kind of a scandal that they would even consider not letting them in. I mean, in today's society, I don't think it's that abnormal to be, gay.
In fact, it's getting more accepted, so I really don't understand why this now,
Do you know what their reasoning was? Did they give a reasoning for that, or is it just kind of...
I think it's just kind of a decision they made. It's a vote. They're going to have a vote.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have to talk in our news talk, but when we come back, we will be joined by Assistant Chief Mike Romas of the Milwaukee Fire Department, who will tell us everything about fire safety on campus that you need to know. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back to the Evening Twist. We are now joined by Assistant Chief Mike Romas of the Milwaukee Fire Department. Thanks for coming.
You're
welcome. So, one of the reasons we asked you to come in is because we really wanted to ask you about, campus fire safety. But before we get into that, how about you talk a little bit about your history of the fire department and what exactly your position is?
I'm the Assistant Chief of the Milwaukee Fire Department. I'm second in command. There's 3 Assistant Chiefs. My area of responsibility is EMS training and education.
Okay.
And I have an affinity for Marquette because when I came on the fire department 29 and a half years ago, I came on at Engine 2 on 7th and Wells, so we were always first in at anything that happened on the Marquette campus, whether it be EMS or fire.
Now, do you have, when you said that you were there when anything happened, is there something you can remember in your past where there was something at Marquette that happened that really sticks out in your memory?
Yes, there was a smoke in the building. I believe it was McCormick Hall, the silo dorm. Many stories, and it was about 10 below zero. And people, when we got there, everybody was outside because the fire alarm was pulled. And as they should, and that's one of the things I want to make sure everybody gets out of tonight, that if the alarm goes, everybody needs to leave because you have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah. Everybody was outside. They were all ushered out. And when we got there, everybody was standing, some barefoot, and it was about 10 below zero.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. So can you tell us, what do you love about your position? Like, what made you want to get into this business?
Firefighters love to help people at every level. We just enjoy it, and we're trained so well, and we're training all the time so that our skills are at the top. And when you go and you perform and you rescue someone or you take care of somebody that has medical problems, it's just the greatest feeling in the world, and the satisfaction is just so huge that it's every firefighter I know says they love to be at work no matter how long they've been on the job. They just love coming to work.
And how long have you been on the job?
29 and a half years.
And you still love it every single day?
Absolutely. I can't wait to get to work. I joke with some of the secretaries. I go, some of them go, it's great that it's Friday. I'm like, no, it needs to be Monday.
It's more of the TGIM, thank God it's Monday phrase.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't ever have that feeling. Really.
You don't?
Thank God it's Monday?
Yeah.
No. Thank God it's Friday
be ready
and
to
I
go.
can sleep. So one thing we do want to talk about is campus safety. Now, living in a residence hall, for example, is different than living at home with your parents or something. What's something that you really need to pay attention to when you live in an apartment-style setting with dorms when it comes to fire safety?
I always say follow the rules. There's rules in every dormitory. Every campus has rules. When you start as a student, you're reading things all the time, but you should read the fire safety rules of that dorm and of your campus. And if you follow those rules, they're there for your benefit. They're a good thing, not a bad thing. If you follow them, everybody will be safe, including, see, what happens is it's not just you, it's other people. I mean, you're living in a dorm with hundreds of other people, so what you do, there's a fire in your room, it'll affect everyone on the floor, your floor, and probably every floor.
I think people forget about that a lot. That's a good point that you brought up there.
People are selfish and self-minded. That's what it is. Well, I mean, one thing that you might be able to answer, how do we, when you say you walk, for the example, your Marquette store, you came there and it was 10 below and people were outside barefoot. How do you avoid that? I mean, should you always keep a jacket by the door or something like that to go outside? Or do you just kind of have to deal with it? When there's a fire, you know what, it's cold, deal with it.
Right. We always stress practicing having an evacuation plan and a fire drill. And so, dormitories, I don't know how often they have a fire drill, maybe not as often as they should, but people should know how to get out. There's emergency exit signs, they're well lit, and that obviously the RAs know what's going on, so they would make sure that the dorms are clear and everybody's out, so that's a good thing.
Now that brings me to an interesting point. I heard a rumor once that if you do not leave the building during a fire drill, it's a crime. Is that true?
I don't know. I can't answer that. It might, as far as I'm concerned, it's a crime, yes.
It probably is a violation of Marquette rules of some sort.
Yes.
Probably. Well, all I know is I think they should do more of those. But thanks so much for coming in. That's actually all we have time. But coming up next, we have a representative from Health Services coming in to tell us about that flu season. So find out about the flare-up when we return. Welcome back to the Evening Twist. We are here with Amy Melikar, the coordinator of Health Services. Now, can I ask you, I heard that the flu season could last till April this year. Is that a rumor? Is that true? Because it's making me nervous.
It very well could be. It ebbs and flows. Peak time is about kind of now into February.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, are there a lot more people coming into Health Services this year? A lot more students, a lot more flare-ups with this flu, or?
I know that flu has definitely hit campus. I don't know compared to last year if it's been more or less, but definitely lots of students coming in to still get their flu shots as well. So
now, are there would you say that you can definitely, or you're more susceptible to getting things like a flu on a student campus?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's what I
You
thought.
all live in close quarters and residence
Yeah.
halls, and you go to class with 200 other students sitting in the same desk before you.
Very close in lecture halls.
Yeah, so
Oh.
everybody's constantly swapping germs.
Yeah. I live in a house with 11 other people, and when one person gets it, we're all
It's
out.
Greek life. For
Yeah.
you.
Yep, the Greek life.
But yeah, I mean, I do too. But I do find myself getting a lot more frequently sick when I'm at school than when I'm at
Yeah.
home. So, I mean, what are the symptoms of like a flu? I mean, everybody says I have the flu, but if I think about it, I really couldn't tell you like what
That's
the
a good
flu
point.
is. I mean, what are the kind of symptoms? I mean, what should you think about? You know, oh my God, I'm having this, I'm having that, I might have the flu.
Right. Typically, it's going to be like your basic kind of virally cold kind of thing. The difference with flu, though, is that you have the tendency to get a temperature with it.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of doesn't happen always, but
Right.
that's kind of the
At
big.
least it gets a temperature without the flu.
Oh, you're funny, Vix.
That's kind of the difference. So, but
Okay.
just kind of run down, could be more sick as
Yeah.
in vomit. I don't know. It's different, but your basic kind of cold symptoms
Right.
lead to that or have the
Now,
potential to.
you guys do offer specifically flu shots for students, you know, that so they can be prepared for something like this happens,
Absolutely.
right? And how do they go about that?
Basically, all the flu shot campaigns started last fall on campus. So beginning about October through and including now, students could show up at any one of those clinics on campus to get a flu shot, or at any point in time, a student can come on in to Student Health Service and get the flu shot as well. It's not too late. The only difference that people have to keep in mind still, with the potential for the peak to still hit on
Yep.
campus or otherwise, is that it takes 2 weeks to have it
Right,
get
okay.
into full effect. So you still got to be careful in that meantime too.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't got my flu shot yet.
I
so.
haven't either.
No time like
We
the
need to come
present.
in health services.
No time like the present.
Yeah, so many students are very busy, they're on the go. What can they do to just prevent this from even happening? They're
So-
sleep deprived, we're
Yeah,
so many
right.
classes.
So basic health and wellness as a college student, we talk about a handful of things. So obviously your flu shot is going to be good, but just in general, students should always remember at this time being cold and flu season, but any other time too, good eating habits, making sure you're sleeping, making sure you're practicing some kind of stress management, relaxation on a regular basis. Alcohol in moderation, just all of those basic things are going to help you in the long run.
Well, we'll
Sleep,
make sure that we
nutrition.
do that in the
Yep.
future.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. That's all the time
Absolutely.
we have for you today. But when we come back, we'll be joined by Erica Mamboxu, who is our Marquette Student Government President. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back to Evening Twist. We are joined now by Erica Mamboxu, who is our Marquette Student Government President, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having me.
Of course.
So tell us about your position. What do people, everybody at Marquette knows that student government exists, but what exactly does student government do for students?
So are you asking me what my position is or what they do? Like,
Well, both. I mean,
I'll explain
Give
my
us
position.
all the details.
As president, I oversee all the daily operations of the student government as a whole, and then I act upon legislation from our senators. I also manage our executive board, which is comprised of a financial vice president, a legislative vice president, a communications vice president, a program board vice president, and then also the executive vice
jeez.
president.
I didn't even know
Wow.
that. That was-
lot.
Yeah. So those are just some of the things I do. I also sit on our budget committee, which is comprised of setting up the next, term in terms of what their fiscal year would be and what that looks like, and managing the student activity fee, which is a fee that students pay each semester. It's about $30.
You know what? I did a story on student government a while back, and I heard that too. I didn't even know that part. I didn't even know that part of my money goes to the student
Going
government.
back to
I had no
I didn't
idea.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that is a good segue then into what student government does. And so you know, our mission is founded in providing back for students and advocating on behalf of students to make sure that they have the holistic education that they are paying for when they come to campus. And so we do that through a variety of ways. Some of them is, you know, issues advocacy, so it's working with administration to make improvements in, say, things like academic advising or what are some other examples? Even just traffic safety, things like that. I mean, it varies. When a student has a concern, they can come to us, and we'll look further into it. And then we also provide programs and also funding for organizations.
So what's something big that everybody at Marquette would know about that student government has kind of done in the past? I know that's a big question. It's a loaded
think about that
question.
for a second.
I mean, it's a pretty hard question. There's been so many different things. At the top of my mind right now is some of the improvements in terms of like traffic safety that we've done, just given like kind of the recent events and stuff on campus.
Like
so
last night, that accident.
Yeah, so
we
we've
were just
put like
talking about that.
medians in. We've worked with the city on that, and that was a pretty cool thing. We've also worked with dining to make sure that students are aware of like where their money is going for that, and ways that we can improve that so that we have kind of more options for students, especially those who have dietary restrictions. Yeah, those are some, I think, top of mind examples. We also do awesome events, which is like the most recent one, or the one that's coming up next week. Yeah, is Night of Chocolate, which is like
Ooh.
Nice.
best. I mean, it's a night
Where
of
is
chocolate.
this? I will be there.
Yeah, exactly.
The ballroom, actually.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, it's on
One thing
Valentine's Day.
I have to ask. Oh, perfect. Yeah. One thing I do have to ask you, and I know that some people on campus know about this, but what exactly happened to the vice president situation?
Yeah, I mean, so it wasn't an ideal situation, but for personal reasons, he chose to step down, and so at the end of the day, with looking at everything, it's better for the organization and for him, and so it's just something we had to work out. It's kind of unfortunate, but you know, as you grow up, you have to make tough decisions, and that's one of them.
And
So
if you made the right one, then good.
yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in. That's actually
Yes,
all
thank
we
you.
have time for. But coming up next, we have Arthur Jones with the Twittersphere. Arthur, what are those feeds saying?
Thank you, Max and Lisa. I'm Arthur Jones here with tonight's social media highlights, also known as the Evening Twist, Twittersphere. I hope this serves as an agent to inform, help you guys learn about today's topics, to gossip a little bit and converse with me as we talk about things that matter. So our first tweet is definitely from SHS Marquette. That was Student Health Services. Remember they were with us a few minutes ago? Make sure you capture your creativity and engage your brain outside of the classroom. And make sure you guys do us a favor and follow us on Twitter at The Evening Twist. You know, see, we're talking tonight about MUSG President Erica Van Boxdale, and then MU Topics. Why not follow us? We're such a great TV show. We want to hear from you guys. And make sure you guys follow at MUSG. Looking for something to do on Valentine's Day? I know I am. My girlfriend is not doing anything with me, and I know I want to go and get me some chocolate for $5. Love me some chocolate, y'all. And if you're interested to take over Erica's job, make sure you go on MUSG's Twitter, follow them, complete out the application, send it, and hopefully you can run Marquette's student government. So tonight in Twitter World from Milwaukee, the trending topic was love that looks like. And to me, honey, this is love, because I want to eat all of these chicken nuggets. They look so good. And then this is so cute when I saw this. When this man engaged to his fiance with a Pokemon ball. If you're definitely a 90s baby, don't we love this TV show? And so that's definitely what love looks like. So thank you so very much for watching. Make sure you guys follow us at The Evening Twist on Twitter. I'm Arthur Jones. Thanks, Max and Lisa.
No, thank you, Arthur, for your Twitter update.
That was great.
Definitely good with some Twitter stuff.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to stick to the subject of the internet because one thing we like to talk about on the Evening Twist is our video of the day. So if you like talented babies, then I'm sure you'll like this.
You know what? This video is actually the inspiration for this segment, and once we saw it, we could not stop laughing. So take a
It
look.
was hilarious. Take a look at this.
Yes, I know. Oh, hello. Harry. It's walking.
Sure. What have I missed?
Hey, sexy lady. It's hilarious.
It is. It's
Now,
hysterical.
I got it. It's probably edited, and it's probably not really a baby.
I
doing
know,
that,
but I don't want to think about that because that's so funny.
It's
you
hilarious.
cannot laugh.
You know, we weren't even going to have a segment like this in the show until we saw this video. And then we heard about it and we saw it and we're like, we got to find a way to put this on the show. So that's
So if you're having the
exactly what
worst
we did.
day, that's got to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all we have tonight for the Evening Twist. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. And make sure to be there on our next show, which is 2 weeks from now. Sorry about that. 2 weeks from now on February 20th. And I'm going to give away a little surprise about that show because we are going to have the Wisconsin Humane Society.
Very excited.
And the rumor is that they might bring some animals. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank
and we'll
you
see
so
you in
much.
2 weeks.
See you.